Hey, video service information here. Today we're looking at a 2014 Dodge Ram. The customer was complaining of a grinding noise coming from the left front wheel, and then the wheel locked up is what they're stating. The vehicle was towed in. It's got a 5.7 engine in it. It has, let's see what the mileage is on it. It's got 116,000 miles on it. And got the vehicle into the shop here and noticed right away that the left front wheel was canted out. You can see here in the image. Got a quick look underneath and you can see how the wheel is rubbing up against the inner fender well. And you could see the inside of the tire was all chewed up. Looking at the top of the knuckle here, in the left upper control arm is actually grinding into the left front tire, and it's got it all chewed up, and you can see all the rubber here in the photo all over the suspension components. So we have a left front wheel bearing failure here, and what happened is the continued operation and driving here, we got some substantial damage to other items. Obviously you can see the left front tire is all chewed up. You have the left front axle shaft boot is torn and the joint is separating. Getting close up of that here for you guys. Next image here, you can see how the boot is torn, and we have damage here on the knuckle. I'll get it exploded. You can see. I'll get a pen here so you guys can get a better look at it. Right up in here, we got knuckle damage. The wheel bearing exploded, and you can see shrapnel, pieces of metal in this area. You can see here how the left front brake hose is chewed through. I'll get a back image of the knuckle area. That left upper ball joint, the boot is actually split on it. The boot is split, and we have, the control arm rubbing up against the tire, and it chewed it all up. More rubber inside the wheel well area. CV shaft rubbing up against the shock boot. You can see how it actually wore a hole here through the shock boot area. More rubbers covering the suspension components. That's from the filings of the inside of the tire, spreading throughout the left front wheel well area. It also got so hot that it heated up the brake caliper. You can see the caliper bracket here is all whitish and red from heat. Another picture of the caliper here. You can see the caliper is white. Another inside view of the wheel bearing area inside the knuckle. You got the whole inside of the knuckle is all gouged and damaged from the wheel bearing exploding in the continued operation. Got the vehicle up on the lift so you can actually see how much the wheel is cambered in here. So definitely going to have to recommend the replacement of the knuckle wheel bearing. It's going to need both upper and lower control arms. Going to need an ABS wire, brake hose, new tire, new CV shaft axle. The boot on the shock is going to have to be replaced. It's going to have to be verified to see if the air suspension works correctly once this thing gets reassembled. So you can see the substantial damage that what happens when you drive with a bad wheel bearing. You end up doing a lot of other subsequent damage from there that could have been prevented. So if you hear a howling noise, a bearing howling noise coming from the wheel area, or just a groaning noise, it always is good to get the suspension, wheel bearings, and everything checked out, just to make sure that you don't have a wheel bearing that's failing on you. Continue to drive it with a bad wheel bearing, you can see what could happen. Definitely does a lot of damage. I've actually seen them worse than this, believe it or not. I've seen them when the tire comes right off the vehicle, and it'll end up taking the left front fender off, or the fender, whatever side it is, damaging the door, completely ripping off the control arm and stuff if you, if the tire comes completely off when you're rolling down the road. So it always is a good idea to get your vehicle checked over, see if there's any. Sometimes you might not have noise coming from a wheel bearing. It could be just excessive play in the bearing itself and not noisy. So it's always good to get with your technician and have your vehicle checked over. Try to prevent some of these issues. Hey guys, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to get notified every time I put up a new video. Have a nice day.